I am responsible for every thought I think. Whether it's negative or it's positive. Yeah. I am the one responsible. So Kiana's question was, how do I seem to have a program, and how do I change the program? Oops, I don't know what happened. But apparently, oh. Alright, so my messenger just crashed. And actually my Facebook just crashed. I have no idea why. So I'm not in the Facebook room anymore, guys. I'm just on the live call over here. I'll have to sort out what's going on with my Facebook later. Good morning, Tamika. Good to see you. I'm responsible for every thought I think. And the very first thing that happens on this journey is awareness. The awareness of what I'm thinking. And that first step is what Kiana is talking about. Kiana is talking about, oh my God, now I'm actually afraid of thinking because I've been watching myself and I'm so negative. And now I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared of thinking my thoughts. Kiana, I'm laughing, but I'm putting my arms around you because I can tell you I've been there. I've been that person who says, oh no, I just said something, should never have said that. Oh, I just thought that and I should have never thought that. And we start beating up on ourselves. Whereas the thing I want you to do, Kiana, and everyone else, is to congratulate yourself. I'm finally paying attention. I am finally paying attention and I can see how negative I have been. No wonder my life was such a mess. Anyone know what I'm talking about? I've been there. Yes, Kiana, sweetheart, I know exactly where you are. I remember where I was standing when this aha moment happened, where I realized how negative I was. But from there, good things started happening because awareness. Oh, you are here, Kiana. I'm so happy to see you because I've already answered half your question. I mean, I've already given the answer, half my answer to your question. But I want to congratulate you. So, you see, here's what's happening to you, Kiana, and this is exactly, I was just saying, this is exactly what happened to me. One day, after I had been immersing myself in law of attraction and understanding, figuring it out, one day I woke up and I had the realization that, oh my God, I am so negative. And when I had that realization, I became afraid. I became afraid of thinking my thoughts. Because I realized every time I think my thought, it's like I am ingesting poison. Because my thoughts are so poisonous. Because they're so negative. And then the question was, what do I do? And I started, exactly like you, Kiana, I started beating up on myself. I became afraid of thinking my own thoughts. I was so afraid, I was afraid to breathe. Because I realized that every thought I think, is negative. It's either judgmental about someone else or it's judgmental about me. And I want, and I didn't do this for myself, but I want you to do this for you, Kiana. I didn't do it for myself because I didn't know any better. But I want you to do this for you. Is to congratulate yourself for figuring it out, for being able to see how negative you are. I didn't congratulate myself for that. I need you to congratulate yourself because now you've got the diagnosis, so now you can do something about it. So don't be afraid and don't worry so much about it because you are on the right track, sweetheart, because the very first step is awareness. That's diagnosis. Now I know what's wrong with me, I can fix it. And how you fix it is by remaining aware. You got the very first step. Lena, you said, wow, that resonated with you, huh? Yeah. So the very first step is to continue being aware. Because the more aware you are, what's going to start happening is you're going to start looking at yourself from up here. And when you do something that you know you should not have done, you're going to say, oh, not going to do that one again. Oh, not going to do that one again. I know, Kiana, I only know because I've been there. I've done that. I know exactly where you are, and I've got you. I've got you. I've got you because I've been there, and it wasn't that long ago that I've forgotten it. I have not forgotten. Oh, Lena, sweetheart, yes, I know. You see, anything that I've ever taught you is because I learned it before you. I'm only a few steps ahead of you, that's all. And some of you are beginning to catch up to me. Yes, Lena. So the very first thing to do is to say, oh, thank God, now I know what's wrong. And then the slow and painful process of saying to yourself, oh, not doing that again. Instead of beating up on yourself, there's no point. You know that if you beat up on yourself, you're being even more negative than you were before. What you need to do is to, every time you catch yourself, congratulate yourself. And then say, not going to do that again. And I will tell you from my personal experience that I said that to me. Not going to do that again. Guess what I did? Anyone guess what I did? Yes, I did it again. But the second time I did it, it hurt even more. And then I stopped. Sometimes I stopped the third time. Sometimes I stopped the 10th time. But eventually I stopped. Exactly, Kiana did it again. Zara did it again. So then what I did, I developed strategies for myself. These are the same things that I teach you guys. I developed strategies for myself. And the number one strategy I developed was to stop and breathe. Just stop and breathe. That taking a breath automatically takes you a step higher than wherever you were on the emotional scale. And so your self-talk changes because as you move up the emotional scale, the language that you use, the thoughts that you think change. So just breathe and you cut that, you break that chain. You bring that train of thought that you were on to a full stop and you go higher on the emotional scale. Now your next thought is going to be a better one than before. And that's all it takes. And if you keep doing it and you keep doing it and you keep doing it and you're committed, and then a point will come where your responses will change. And you won't respond the same way that you used to. And that's such a yummy place to be, to get there. But I can tell you it takes time, and you need to be patient with yourself. And every time you catch yourself, even though you think you've made a mistake, but the fact that you caught your mistake, that's a pat on the back. That is not a rap on the knuckles. What people do wrong is that instead of pat on the back, they rap the knuckles. And when you rap your knuckles, your self-worth goes down. And you go down the emotional scale along with your self-worth. And then you end up in a worse place than you were before. And this is why starting the work sometimes brings to the surface a lot of crap that had sunk down and we weren't even aware that it was there, brings it all to the top. And now we have the opportunity to either deal with it or to look at it and feel disgusted with ourselves and go back to hide in our shell. Don't do that. Pat on the back instead of rapping the knuckles, and you will do it. Pretty soon you will go from that first phase of awareness to actually starting to see a difference. And that's so yummy exciting. And I can't wait for that to happen for you, sweetheart Kiana, because I know you can do it. 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 I'll be right there to celebrate it with you. All right, folks. So, Aisha, I love those hearts. Yes, Kiana, you can do it. Everyone can do it. So I want everyone to put in the chat right now, I can do it. I'm on my way. I'm doing it already. Pat on the back. Lena, come on. I want to see that pat on the back. Lena, come on. Show me that pat on the back. Come on, guys. I want to see. I want you to put in the chat, I can do it. And I'm going to give myself a pat on the back every time I catch myself. Yes, Nancy. Awesome. Tamika, yes, awesome. Yes, 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 awesome. Thank you, Aisha. Claudia. Yes, you are well on your way, Lena. I'm thrilled. Love you so much. Okay, so because Kiana asked this question in the challenge, I'm going to extract, like I did yesterday, this part of it, and I am going to put it in the challenge. But the 365 and the challenge are converging today. Dolores, yes, you can do it, sweetheart. We can all do it, Claudia. Yes, yes, we can. And that's why this is a safe place where we can all come together and support each other, because it's the same journey. It might look a little different because you're a different person, but it's the same journey. It's the same journey. All right. I told you the story. When I was doing this work, one of the stories that comes to mind is a friend of mine who had moved to Alberta had asked me to pick up her daughter at the airport. Her daughter was coming back to Toronto for a visit. So I went and I picked her up. Her name's Amber. I picked up Amber at the airport, and as we were driving, we were catching up, and she was telling me what's going on, and then she said, "Oh, I'm so worried about grandma. And I'm worried because she seems to become so forgetful." And then, she said, "My mother's telling me all these things about grandma's leaving the door open, leaving the water running, and stuff like that." And my immediate thought was, oh my God, she's going down the route that my mother went with dementia and Alzheimer's. And I was going to say, whoa, well, that sounds like Alzheimer's or dementia. And I zipped up and I said, and then I did some self-talk in my head. As she was talking, I did some self-talk. And I said, no, you're not going to tell her that. That's just going to make her feel even worse. What can you say to her to lift her up instead of bring her down? And then I said to her, Dorothy's been doing such a good job of looking after herself, living on her own. She's going to be fine. Sometimes people go through phases and they do things that other people don't understand. And then they grow out of that phase. So I'm sure that you don't need to worry about this. But it's okay to take her to the doctor if you think that you should. And I then congratulated myself because that was a much better response. Would you agree that that was a much better response? And what I did to her was exactly what I did in my head as I was talking to her, is an example of the same thing that I did with myself when I was talking to myself. And that's how I retrained myself to think based on the teachings of Abraham and the law of attraction. So Kiana, that's what you do. It's going to come out of your mouth, or you're going to think it, and you will not be able to stop yourself. But then you'll do the work and you'll say, how could I have said that better? And just by rephrasing it, instead of leaving it right there, rephrase it before you move away from it. Next time this happens, this is how I'm going to respond. Now you're retraining yourself. It's no different than training a puppy. It is really no different than training a puppy. Puppy that makes a mess, we teach them not to do it again. And we keep teaching them gently, with love, until they learn. So just now, just tell yourself you're just training a puppy. You're the puppy.